Many artists love sunflowers. There is a rugged joy in them, radiant and bright, filled with life. Joan Mitchell's sunflowers are less solid, more like the energy of the sunflower than its physical presence. Perhaps then, this representation will help us see God, who is also spirit, more clearly in it. Welcome to the 100th episode of Art and Prayer. What a milestone. Today we use Joan Mitchell's painting Sunflower 3 as a call to contemplation and encounter with God. The sunflower has a long symbolic art history. By its similarity to the sun itself, this flower represents the giver of light and life. When a sunflower appears in a painting, the artist is often asking us to see God. Now, I cannot say that that is what Mitchell was asking of us. I have no evidence she made that connection. Perhaps she was just following Van Gogh's tradition without thinking about his spirituality. But as people who are using art for contemplation and as a window to God, it is fair for us to say that the sunflower is an important connection to faith. For example, people have often noted how a sunflower always keeps itself facing the light. It moves and follows the sun throughout the day, turning its head. And this is the goal of contemplation, to always keep ourselves focused on God and to follow God throughout our day. So let's prepare ourselves to gaze at this beautiful work and open ourselves to what God has for us today. Be still, inside and out. Find the quiet, calm, and relaxed state of mind and body that allows you to speak with and listen to God. Draw in a deep breath and release it.
Listen now as we center ourselves in the words of the hymn, "Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus." O soul, are you weary and troubled? No light in the darkness you see? There's light for a look at the Savior, and life more abundant and free. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace.
Let's look at the painting. In what ways has Mitchell captured the essence of sunflowers? What does her depiction capture about them that a typical realistic still life does not? Let's look closer. Take time to notice the brush strokes and colors. Sit with your thoughts and emotions. Allow God to begin to stir within you as you gaze. What does God have for you today? Allow God to clarify any message, any words, any vision, whatever it is that God has for you. What questions do you have for God about this? What scriptures or other holy words come to mind in answer to your questions? What else does God have for you today? Spend one more minute simply enjoying God, staring into the face of the divine and being lost in the glory and grace. I invite you to finish up your time of contemplation. I find abstract paintings and realistic paintings give me quite different experiences. In realistic paintings, I find myself depending upon the elements of the image to guide me to God. A detail starts me thinking about something in my life, and I go from there. But in abstraction, instead of focusing on a single line of color or a flurry of brushstrokes, I have to attend to what happens inside me as I look. In a sense, I'm being required to listen with my whole being until I hear the stirrings of God. And I think that is harder for me on most days, but I don't shy away from the challenge of those abstract paintings. I pray that through this image you found yourself drawn closer to God, and that whatever God has said to you will stay with you for a few days. Remember that if you ever need more time, you can always return to the contemplation a second time. Also, if you have any questions about contemplative prayer and artwork, please ask. I will do my best to be helpful. There are several frequently asked questions on my webpage, artandprayer.org, but these are only the beginnings of questions that can arise in spiritual practice. If you have others, reach out. Thank you for 100 episodes. Keep your eyes upon Jesus, my friends. Until next week, be blessed.